has been said that the original classic Godfather was not about crime, but was a sort of mythological parable about a king with 3 sons and how each of those sons in turn struggled, failed, or fulfilled the awesome responsibility of being heirs to an empire. Likewise, the classic primetime soap opera Dallas, which I grew up with, was outstanding for the same reasons. At its core, it is about family, about an empire built by the family. It is really the story of Jock and Ellie Ewing and the classic tale of how they came to own the ranch, find the oil, and about the 3 sons, each being reflections of their parents, and particularly how sons inherit aspects of their father. Jock was a loving father and husband, a cowboy and wildcatter who liked his bourbon and branch and wouldn't hesitate to tie one on. At his core, a just and fair man, but he would not hesitate to be utterly ruthless and even deceptive to preserve what he had built for his family. Gary was the son that liked the bourbon and branch but lacked his father's control. J.R. was obviously the son that was smart and savvy in business and ruthless and wouldn't hesitate to be deceptive. Bobby was the son who wanted to be just and fair and had a touch of his dad's temper. Even the discovery of the 4th son, Ray Krebs, the cowboy, put central to the story how the sons grow up to be like the father, how the father is reflected in the sons, and how all these different personality traits of the original one man revolve around one another in the family dynamic. What made the show so compelling are these core human stories, the emotions that they trigger by similarities to our own real lives, and the lessons learned through absorbing their fictional experiences. These type of core stories about the human experience are timeless as ancient mythology and projected as distant as the most remote science fiction futurism. Great stories are about the human experience and what it is to be human in a variety of situations across the panorama of different circumstances, our struggles for definition, and lives fulfilled in the defining. The absolute perfect role for Jim Davis, who had been a cowboy in so many films. I loved him in this role, and yet his untimely death and the death of his character did not wreck the show. Like real life, at some age, at some point, boys who've grown up to become men in the shadow of their father, in a broader sense, children who've grown up to be men and women in the shadow of their parents, have to figure out who they are in a world without their parents. We often then become more aware of how much we are like them. If we've had anything resembling a traditional family structure, we find ourselves in our later years wanting to be worthy of our parents' memory. The sudden death of Jim Davis, leaving us the sudden death of Jock Ewing, allows the show in its later seasons to follow that stage of the development of the family, as the characters of the sons grow and mature and experience the subtle changes which reflect perfectly real life. Bringing life all the way around to the last 2 seasons and the next generation having an increasing role, the sudden passing of Larry Hagman, the death of J.R. Ewing, the son now grown old and passing away like his father before him, leaving his son and his sons the future, each generation passing on before the next, wrapping up many points of the story, but like real life, so many threads to go forward, with only the hope that they have prepared the next generation to face life in the world they leave behind. Extraordinarily well written, well directed, well acted, executed perfectly, everything about Dallas is a superior level of television and entertainment, and in the end, has lasting legacy because of how it resonates with the timeless stories of antiquity and the future of humanity itself and the deepest recesses of our soul.